Currents at the Crossroads, live from the Redstone Room. It's supported with Quad City Arts dollars. Community access to the arts funds provided by the Illinois Arts Council, the Doris and Victor Day Foundation, the John Deere Foundation, the Mary Iva Gittens Nouse Charitable Trust, Quad City Arts Partners, and Festival of Trees.
What we were interested in doing was to combine education and performance.
One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing.
Music, dance, creative writing, storytelling, and visual arts.
Before we could talk, before we could walk, we dance.
And I don't care how you get it, there's nothing like live entertainment.
Hello, I'm Ellis Kell, Director of Programming and Education here at River Music Experience. In this month's Currents at the Crossroads, live from the Redstone Room, we'll visit with Nate Lawrence, founder of Polyrhythms. Nate is the creator and host of the monthly Third Sunday Jazz series at River Music Experience. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy our conversation about the importance of this music we call jazz.
Summertime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high.
Yeah.
Oh, your daddy's rich and your money's good. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's a nothing an army with Daddy and Manny standing in line.
According to founder Nate Lawrence, a major goal of Polyrhythms is to demystify jazz music and make it more accessible to all by presenting high-quality workshops and performances at an affordable cost. Polyrhythms' focus is to teach and preserve the artistry of the unique contributions of jazz to music around the world.
We created Polyrhythms in 2002, and it was two groups, Home Folks Communications and Ebony Expressions. So what we ultimately did was, I ended up with the Blues Society and doing the education stuff, and out of that grew it allowed us an opportunity to really see what we could do, and so we came up with Polyrhythms, which was really an instance of contrasting rhythms, or putting more than one rhythm together in a compatible way. We were doing music, we were doing dance, we were doing spoken word. All of our performers, they have to have the capacity to educate. We get people that are great musicians. However, they also have to be able to educate. And often when we're talking to agents, you know, and they say that they won't be able to do the workshop, then we say then they won't be performing for us. So it's you know, that's pretty much how we got our concept.
Mama and Daddy is standing by in the summer time.
We asked Nate Lawrence to explain exactly what and who Polyrhythms is, and to define the organization's mission.
Our mission, you know, is to provide exposure to the arts and the opportunity to build on the imagination, inner strength, and cultural residues, history, and resources of the community by fostering understanding and pride through observing, learning, and performing music, dance, creative writing, storytelling, and visual arts. So that's a mouthful, but that's where we are. That's what Polyrhythms is.
And see if you can relate. We danced. We danced. We danced in unison, stepping high and side by side. In unison with drum beats, keeping our time. Before we could talk, before we could walk. We danced. We danced, we bounced. We bounced to guitar rhythms. We bounced to pianos playing, and we bounced on knees. They played 33s and 45s, roll us round and round, singing lullabies.
We learned how the Third Sunday Jazz program originated and how Polyrhythms secured necessary financial support from the community.
We had this goal, you know, to demystify jazz music, which is what we were about from the very beginning. From a cultural standpoint, we wanted to be able to demonstrate to people, and particularly children, we wanted to be able to demonstrate, you know, the real value of the music. Our first 4 Third Sundays were under the aegis of the R&E and the Vicki Palmer Foundation, which we were eternally grateful. Conceptually, we had it down, but you have to see it, you know. I mean, seeing it is a very different experience. And so once we began to look at it and get a grasp of what we were doing, you know, then we got very comfortable very quick.
Polyrhythms had very definite ideas of what they hoped to accomplish through their programming. Sustaining this jazz program has also had its unique challenges.
The rhythm music experience was undergoing some changes, so we went out looking for funding. And fortunately, we have in our community a Mary Ellen Chamberlain, who has a great appreciation for the arts. And so when we ran it by her, she was a person that believed in us and believed in what we were doing, and believed that we were capable of executing what we said we were about.
We asked Nate Lawrence how he envisions the continued growth of the Third Sunday Jazz program into the future.
There are things that a lot of people like because it's popular, and then there are things that people are forced to listen to. You know, so we want both. You know, we want people to have the recognizable part, but we also want people to learn that even the things that they think are outside their purview, they really aren't. You know, if you understand the rules and the language of music.
Clap your hands. There you go. Yeah. Song of dedication is blues to Jimmy Jones and Davenport Iowa. Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. I got the Jimmy Jones blues and I don't know what to do. Well, I got the Jimmy Jones blues and I don't know what to do. I come all the way from Chicago, sing the Jimmy Jones blues for you. Repeat after me. Jimmy, 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 I got the Jimmy Jones blues and I come to sing for you.
There is also an emphasis on eventually making historic jazz recordings and educational materials available year-round to jazz fans.
We were very interested in exposing children to the richness of this music. Kurt Vonnegut said, "The only proof that I need for the existence of God is music." You know, so it's an extension of that kind of thinking. We know how important the music is. All of us have grown up with music. At other times we got it filtered in other ways, but you know, for my generation, you know, there was radio. You know, for other generations, there's YouTube and other things. So, and I don't care how you get it. There's nothing like live entertainment.
Let's give it up for Jimmy Jones, y'all. Give it up for him, y'all.
We were trying to be systematic about how we approached it. We didn't just want to just throw stuff on the wall. What we wanted to do was to provide the foundation and the building blocks for understanding the music. So how we went about it was we started off with trios. In the process of doing that, you know, and giving kids a sound understanding of the rhythm, because let's face it, that's like the bones. When we got after we did trios for three events, we expanded it and added a saxophone, you know, just to kind of show how that worked. We've been very fortunate, or or we've been very consistent, you know, in how we've approached it and who we've brought to bring the message. We always find that there are people that truly appreciate what we do. And for example, we had a group here that was probably our most way out group, you know. And of course it wasn't the most well attended. However, the people that were there were just totally into it. And afterward, you know, they came up and thanked us profusely for bringing them. You know, and again, so it's not about full houses and whatnot. Of course, we would all love full houses, but that's not the be all. You know, the most important part is that we bring something that people appreciate. You know, and that's on whatever level they appreciate, and that's why it's important that we bring more than one style. It's really pronounced for me in jazz that when you see a jazz group performing, what you have is the equivalent of a family sitting down for dinner and having a conversation, or you and your buddies, you know, sitting down for a drink and having that is a conversation, and that's and let's face it, we all like to listen in on the conversations, see what people are talking about.
We asked Nate why jazz music and the history behind the music is so important.
This is a river music experience, and it was about exploring music along the Mississippi River, you know, and see, if you don't have music without music doesn't exist in a vacuum, you know. It's a function of what's going on in the world, and you know, music wouldn't have gotten to the Quad Cities if people weren't here, you know, and if work wasn't here. I mean, you know, those riverboats that came up, you know, came to places where people were, and where work was. So it's hard to separate the two, you know. So people didn't just get here. Like I say, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. They didn't just happen to show up. They came here first of all because of the work, and once that went on, then what was required was things that made people, that enhanced people's lives, and that's enjoyment. You know, I mean, there's family, there's work, there's raising your kids, you know, but after you do those basics, you know, the next thing that you want to do is have some peace of mind and some joy, you know, and music brings those terribly important that we continue to show the relationship between what happened on a farm in Mississippi or Tennessee or wherever, and what happened in Chicago. That's why it's important that people understand, you know, understand the roots of this music. And you know, it's not lost on anybody if you look at any parts of it. And that's whether it be the Rolling Stones or the Beatles. You know, all these guys, they all paid homage to these guys who were at the foundation of what they're doing. Music evolves, you know, and if they were still playing music that I listened to as a kid, if that's all they were playing, you know, I wouldn't be interested, you know, because I mean, the repetition would have bored me by now. You know, I'm very, very interested in where it's going. I want kids to understand they're not reinventing the wheel. They're just putting on a different hubcaps or something. You know, it's not, you know, the wheel remains the same. We understand the value of live music, and there's nothing more important in life than to see a craftsman. I don't care if the craftsman is you know, does sculptures with a chainsaw. You know, we're fascinated with a person creating, which is one of the reasons why I'm so high on straight ahead traditional jazz. It's like having it's like building blocks. You know, it's like having a Tinker Toy set, you know, and you can make whatever it is that you want to make.
name is Corey Wilkes. Our track, Pulse. Please come find us again. Good job.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of Currents at the Crossroads, live from the Redstone Room. And we'll see you again somewhere around the bend.
Currents at the Crossroads, live from the Redstone Room. It's supported with Quad City Arts dollars. Community access to the arts funds provided by the Illinois Arts Council, the Doris and Victor Day Foundation, the John Deere Foundation, the Mary Iva Gittens Nouse Charitable Trust, Quad City Arts Partners, and Festival of Trees.